Well, it was not the Sixers' night in this one. We talked about maybe a little bit sluggish with the back-to-back. Obviously, no Joel Embiid, out with left hip soreness. He missed his first game of the season. As we welcome you here to Sixers Postgame Live, brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance, Amy Fiddle, Jim Lynam, and Mark Jackson. And guys, everybody, it seemed like they tried to get going, but there was no sustained energy in this one. And we mentioned kind of the clunkiness of this offense because Joel's not out there. So, Jim, how hard is it to kind of combat a couple things? No star, fatigue, and then obviously just the whole problem of going against a team that does have their full complement of players.
Yeah, not only do you miss Joel with his obvious scoring, his rebounding, but when you have him, you're able to play, let's say, a certain style. If not directly through him, just the number of times you pick and roll with him. And the threat that he is when he sets a pick, obviously knocks the defender off the ball handler, so you automatically have a chance of penetrating. And then him doing whatever he does after setting the pick, whether he's running to the rim, possibly for a lob or a little pocket pass, or whether he's fading where he can make a perimeter shot, therefore bringing the defense out. So it's his absence is, trust me, much more than just not having his numbers. It does not allow you to play your normal style of play.
Yeah, especially when you're looking at 2 7-footers on the other side. That's going to make it a lot harder for the offense to work in any kind of way, shape, or form in that paint. So, Mark, when you're looking at this as a player out there and you're kind of up against something like that with the fatigue, how tough is it for you guys to try to regroup at halftime, at timeouts, knowing what you're up against?
You look at your locker room like, we in the trenches right now. We're going to go to battle with who we have with us right now. Joel Embiid, unfortunately, is not in uniform, so we have to go with the guys we have. So I think it's important that the guys understand we just got to step up and do more. We all paid professionals here. And then as a journeyman in this league who was often start six-man, for me, I was like, this is my opportunity to make up for lost numbers. We missing 30. Well, let me see if I can get 7 or 10 of those extra, to go with that. So I think it's also a lot of guys don't even step up to that. So we got to give credit to Minnesota. They did an excellent job on defense.
They also did an excellent job with their star, Anthony Edwards. No surprise there. 31 points, a cool, almost easy 31 points because he was 5 of 9 from 3. That's almost 56% when you look at his 3-point shooting. Steals, turnovers, obviously, that's 6-2. This guy's a complete player, and we talked about it in the pregame. He is going to go from all-star to superstar probably this year or next, I would think, Jim.
Yeah, if he can continue putting up those kind of numbers, that's an incredibly efficient set of numbers for a game. I mean, I know that he can score the ball, but he's a lot more than that. He's a very, very complete player, and he's very young, so he's going to do nothing but get better. And I'm not sure I realized the handle that he has. He gets to wherever he wants on the floor, and that's a big part of creating high percentage shots.
And he's a big guard. I mean, this guy's 6'4", 250-ish. I mean, he's just a big, solid guy. And then he shoots the ball like he does. He's more agile than I think people give him credit for. But they had different guys that they tried to put on him, Mark, and it didn't really matter because he just is able to shoot the ball. When you're shooting it at 50-something%, I mean, you're going to hit a lot of shots no matter who's on you.
He's efficient, Amy. He's not out there jacking up points like the former Minnesota guy, Gerald Ryder, used to do. You know what I mean? He was a volume scorer. He's a very efficient scorer. He's shooting 50%. He's shooting 39% from 3. He's just kicking butt and taking names. And it seems like the game comes easy to him.
Do you think people maybe underestimated him just because they looked at him as like a big guard and thought, all right, well, he can just dunk and drive the lane?
Well, that was his thing coming out of high school. They say he was just bigger and stronger, more athletic than everyone. He was just a freak. He was almost compared similar to what Zion was.
Right, exactly.
That's who he was. He was a kid like Zion. He was like, he's just bigger, more athletic, but he's going to meet his match once he gets to grown men in league. But they misunderstood his skill set and how skilled he is and his ability to shoot the ball. I can't underestimate how his ability to shoot the ball just helps everything else becomes easier.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it helped that he went to Georgia for basketball. No offense, Georgia, it's a football school. I don't know if you knew that or not. But, he wasn't exactly, lighting it up on people like, okay, well, you're good, but you're on a terrible basketball team. And then, of course, you see what he's doing at the next league. I will say that Tyrese Maxey got him both times that Kentucky played Georgia, but that has nothing to do with here nor there. I just wanted to get that little factoid out there because we're talking about Tyrese Maxey now. And he had to work for every single point that he got tonight. Nothing came easy for him. 7 of 19. And that, Jim, is a tough stat line with a guy that's better than this. Efficiency. You see his 8 assists, but he has everybody on him. You see, obviously, Alexander's on him, and then there was times where Edwards was on him as well.
Yeah, they tried when he penetrated, like, to make him play in traffic, Aim. And when you're not knocking down the three, Tyrese did not make a three. Is that accurate?
That's correct. 0 for 5.
Okay.
Correct.
So when you're not knocking down a perimeter shot, and you have forced, therefore, to rely a tad bit more on the drive against a team with size, and they start congesting that lane, then you're putting up, like, usually lower percentage shot, as good as Maxey is. I mean, he makes incredibly off-balance shots at a high rate. But tonight, I think you have to give the Minnesota defense some credit. And again, I'll go back. I know Maxey, I have a friend that says Maxey could play 48 minutes. You ready? Back-to-back, on the road, get on a plane. It takes a toll on these guys. You don't have your legs. So when I said the Sixers have a poor three-point shooting night, to me, part of that is the schedule.
Back with our Yingling Presents Lager Up. And Rudy Gobert, he's enjoying a couple of bevies because he had no Joel Embiid trying to go at him. He's got whatever he wanted. 6 of 8, no surprise. All these are going to be right inside that paint, Jim.
Yeah, real simplistic. No tricks. Little jump hook there. Get on the offensive board. Sets a pick, rolls to the basket. Recipient of a nice pass there from Conley, I guess it was. Yep. So, very efficient. But again, when he doesn't have to worry about the presence of Joel to smack some of this back in his face, he kind of had his way.
I mean, it's a tall task. That's a good move right there.
Yes,
yeah.
It was.
Paul Reed's in there for a little bit. Tobias Harris, Robert Covington. They're all trying to go at him, but he's the Seifel Tower. He's a legit 7-footer, and the size advantage went his way, and he was able to bully his way down there.
He's efficient. He gets the job done. He's not a circus act. He just gets it done. He does it. He's comfortable with knowing that my role is the block shots and the rebound the ball and finish the ball around the paint. And I mentioned it earlier pregame that people see him and they say, oh, he's not good. He's very effective. The anchor of this defense is Rudy Gobert. Forget what you're saying. Forget the hate that's out there. The anchor of that Minnesota incredible defense this year is Rudy.
I mean, 3 blocks, and you mentioned the rebounds, 11 rebounds as well to go with his efficient 6 of 8. I'm sure Nick Nurse would just want to get on that plane, come on back after this one. Let's check in with him.
A lot about learning experiences the last few games. I know this opponent presents unique challenges with how big they are, but just what'd you learn about how you guys need to play when Joel is out? Isn't out there?
We listen. I thought we did a lot of good things tonight. Obviously, the start was not one of them, right? But I thought we did do a lot of pretty good things as far as standing in there, giving us, getting back in the game. Remaining within some touch. I thought we did a really good job of creating some good open looks. I thought we got downhill, we got to the free throw line. Most of those threes, not all of them, but most of them were ones I wouldn't want us turning down. And you're against this team, you're gonna have to make a better percentage of those because you're gonna have to shoot over the top of them from distance. And we just, that really stood out. I thought we fought hard. I mean, we're on the glass. Felt like we were getting killed on the glass, but we had 17 offensive rebounds, so we were fighting. Felt like they had 30, but they only had 10. It just felt like it. I think again we put ourselves a little bit behind it with the start that we had. Yeah.
Yeah. What were the biggest things that led to the start?
Yeah. I mean, I think that we turned it over. We only end up with 15 for the game, but I think 6 of them early, right? Like really early. It was, and there's just not a whole lot of defense for that, and they were getting a lot of runouts and easy buckets. So that was it.
And then just what made you go with Marcus as kind of an unconventional, small ball starter tonight? Yeah,
I mean, I just wanted to give us a chance to have 5 guys on the floor to space the floor and give us some spacing. Looked really good to start the second half with that lineup, right? It didn't quite again work out in the first, but thought he had a good game. He stretched him a little bit. I thought he was physical. He used his fouls like we wanted him to in there. He's a good physical player. He was outsized, but I thought he fought hard. And obviously, again, is also a chance for us to look at him. We just haven't had hardly any chance to play him, so it was a good chance to get him some rhythm and get him out there and see what he can do. And that may be, like talking about, small ball 5, that may be a good place for him at some point.
Yeah, maybe in a similar vein, what did you learn about what Paul is able to do when Joel's not available?
Yeah, I think Paul did what he was Paul Reed, right? He played really hard. He what do you have a ton of? I felt like he had a bunch of offensive rebounds. How many do you have? Yeah, 6. That's a lot, I thought he, made some good finishes in there. I thought he had a good game, and again, it's nice to get him more than 10 minutes or 12 minutes. Give him 26 minutes tonight, and he deserves them. And I thought he played really hard and fought really good.
Yeah, you mentioned going on the run in the second quarter and kind of sticking with them until the fourth quarter. What do you feel like kind of was the difference that allowed them to pull away?
Well, I think I want to go back to my same opening comment, but we had about 3 threes in a row go in and out, and they banged 3. And all of a sudden, the 5 point, we cut it right down to 5, and it just kept kind of going right back up to 12. We just didn't probably answer enough in the shooting percentages at 39 and 21 from 3. And they got on a little run from the 3-point line, too. So that opened up the game.
Obviously, Nick Nurse has not coached this team without Joel Embiid, so he's learning how to do that. But he mentioned, they didn't get off to a good start, and that could be attributed to a lot of things, obviously the back-to-back as well. But not shooting the ball well from 3 is a big reason that they lost this game, and we're never really in it, Mark.
Absolutely. They were not in this game to begin with. We struggled. We struggled to score the ball. We struggled to get stops. And I thought the Stifle Tower and Big Cat had their way around the rim tonight. And I think those combinations led to the Sixers' loss.
Yeah, almost like the high-low of it all. Yeah. It really was the damage that was done. They couldn't make the threes, and they couldn't stop anybody inside, Jim.
No, that's unfortunately a lethal combination, especially when you're on the road on a back-to-back situation.
Well, the Sixers now come home. They have Thanksgiving here, and then they travel back out on Friday for the game on Saturday in Oklahoma City.